saved me from death. Yeah, he's wiped all my sin away. Yes, he's redeemed me. Yes, he's restored me. Yes, he calls me a son. He no longer calls me a servant or a slave. Yes, he's given me revelation of who his son is. But above all, he's given me life. And this is a really cool part of our life. I think it's cool, but at the same time I think it's uncool. It's cool that the moment you and I gave our lives to Jesus, he said it's finished. He said it's done. He said you never have to do anything again for salvation. And then he said to me, he said, I'm going to give you the greatest gift that man has ever known. I'm going to give you free will. And I went, well, that's pretty cool, Lord. Then I sort of started thinking about what I did with free will. Oh, thank God for Jesus when I started thinking about free will. So he said, remember what I've done. When I died, I rose again just for you, in your life. We teach it corporately. So any church you go to that believes in communion will teach the same things. They'll say that God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever would believe would not perish, but have everlasting life. But do we actually know that means men? Do you know that just means you? You know, if you're the only person, this is what I remember this morning. I just remembered this, yeah, because it spoke to me. Because when he said do this in remembrance, we've all got different things we remember at different times. But he said this to me this morning. He said, Red, if you were the only person on the planet, still I would have came. And I said to him, am I that precious to you, Lord? And he said to me, I knew you before the foundations of the world began. I had you in my heart, I had you on my mind. And I said to him, but Lord, what about everybody else on the planet? And he said, I love them too, Red. But you and me is what matters to me in your life. And I said to him, well, how does that mean I'm so precious to you? I said, how do I declare that in front of other people that know you as well? And they say, well, what makes you think you're so special to him? And then he said this to me. He said, Red, I will demonstrate how precious you are to me in Scripture. So I didn't write the Scripture down. I wasn't going to put it up. I was going to tell you what it means to me. You all know Adam walked in the garden with God. You all know it was just him and Adam. You all know before Eve come along, no offense ladies, but before Eve come along, it was just Adam and God. So you think about Eden, you think about the whole world created, stars put in the sky, sea separated from land, night from day, all done for Adam to enjoy his Father's presence. How special do you reckon Adam was to God? Yeah, how special do you think he was? That of all creation, he let him name all the animals. Would have taken him a couple of days, I reckon. That's how precious he was. So the Lord said to me, he said, when sin and death entered my world, so my world. He said that everything got in between me and you, Rick. Everything got in between me and you. Life, death, sin, marriage, children, addictions, bondages, beliefs. I remember him this morning because he said to me, when I came into your world, because that's what he did, he came into my world and he came into your world individually, just like Adam was in his world. He said, I'll come back into your world, come to rescue you, just so I can have you to myself. And he said this incredible statement to me this morning. He said to me, and I was talking to Dougie a little bit about my testimony, and I said, this is what the Lord said to me. I want to share you no more. I don't want to share you with this world anymore. No more bitterness, no more anger, no more frustration, no more sin. I just want you to myself. And I said, Lord, I've been with you for a while. I've known you for a little while and I keep falling short. And he said, it's okay, I know you've fallen short. That's why I died for you. That's why I died and rose again, so that you, if you would just believe in me, if you would just know that you're redeemed even when you fall over, if you would just come before me and say, Lord, I stuffed up again, it's okay. I got you covered every day of your life until you're with me forever. You know, the funny thing I remember this morning is I don't have to die to be with him forever. I can be with him right now. Right now. I don't have to die to see this glory. I don't have to die to go and be in his presence. He said to me this morning, I've come to give you life. abundantly here. So this morning, if you're in a bit of a same spot as me, you know when you continually trip over your own feet, and sometimes you should engage your mouth before your foot gets stuck in there. Just remember this morning. It's a free will choice. When Christ has set us free, we don't have to submit to these things anymore. That's a choice we make, not a force of sin. This morning when we break bread, can we hand the elements out, please? Whoever's in charge of that. This morning when you take the bread and take the cup, and I want you to take it in your time. Don't wait for everybody else, because I know for me sometimes I want to hang on to the biscuit. If I'm up the back, by the time we get to same, it's turned to mush. So just take it in your own time. But here's what he said. The night he broke bread and the night he took the cup, this is all he said. My body broken for you. My blood shed for you. Not complicated, not a ritualistic idea. It's not about religion. It's not about fancy words. It's not about getting there and saying, Lord, I need to be perfect. All we've got to do is say, I remember you, Lord. I remember what you did for me. We don't have to go there polished. We don't have to come before him in a fancy suit or with masks on. We don't have to go before him trying to hide our guilt and shame. We don't have to do that anymore. He said, I've torn the veil and it stays torn. We're the only ones that can stitch it back up again. He never will. His sacrifice is once and for all time. You know what that means, don't you? You know what sacrifice. Man, that's cool. He spoke to me this morning just in finishing because I was talking to people, and this is while I'm walking around. He's talking to me while I'm walking around. I require mercy bread, not sacrifice. Don't try and be prim and proper to come to me because I already know. Why don't you just come as you are? Come before me with softness in your heart, not sacrifice or sanctification or any of these words that Christians use. Just come as you are, because I died to set you free, as you are. You know, the more I'm learning, I think the less I know. It's a weird thing, isn't it? Hey Marilyn, we learn all of this stuff growing up just to find out it's useless. That all the knowledge on the planet does what? Jesus said, do not stop the children from coming before me. Can I tell you, I'm still a child in him. Still a child, everybody else still a child? Don't think I'll ever go out of being a child, because I am a child of God. So come as a child, Brett. Don't come with all your preconceived ideas, your preconceived plans. So remember, take it as you feel free. I'm not going to pray over it, because he said, do this in remembrance. We'll pray right at the end. You got to remember. It's not for me. This morning I'm just remembering how simple he's made this, that it's just a simple choice. I can't blame the wife, can't blame the kids. Although that's...
You try.
Did you read that just then? Did you read that? My goodness, need grace and mercy. Anyway, it's about you and him this morning. Just in your own time, you sit there, you spend time with him, and why don't you ask the simple question of him? Did he love me as I am? That's a simple question. Doesn't cost you anything. All it's ever going to cost you is one thing. Man, will you believe? That's it. Can you believe that you're still doing all this stuff? Can you believe that you still fall short? And yet he said, as you are, I am. I'll just take mine while we're let me encourage you, it's not the size of the sacrifice in remembrance that matters, it's the size of the mercy that you know has got for you that matters the most. It's not how much you've laid down, it's how much he's given. Father, I just speak this morning your words. But God, you loved each one of us so much. So much that you sent your one and only Son that we, us, I, believe. We would not perish, but we would have everlasting life. For you did not send your Son into my world or the world of the people that are here, or even the world itself, to condemn them. But you sent your Son to save us through him. Not by works that we may boast, but by the saving grace and love of Jesus Christ alone. Father, everyone here this morning, Father, if there are those here that do not know you, this morning by the end of this day, that you will speak to their hearts and say, come as you are. Don't worry about what you know and don't know. Don't worry about what you've done and haven't done. Just come today and find freedom. Father, for all of us that have known you and do know you, Lord, that you will remind us each and every day that we don't have to break bread on a Sunday morning to break bread with you. We can do this daily and as many times as you lead us to. For this is about remembering what you did. And all the saints said? Amen. So with that, we'll send the buckets around. So I'm just going to have a quick chat about this bucket idea. The bucket list. If you read the scriptures up on the screen, which aren't up there,